death doesn't really exist and may be an illusion, according to quantum physics. Free Jupiter. Some theories within quantum physics suggest that death may not be the finality it appears to be. Image, Freepik. Sharing is caring. Facebook. X. Pinterest. The mystery of death has fascinated humanity for centuries. From ancient philosophical debates to modern scientific inquiries, the question of what happens when life ends remains one of the most profound puzzles. However, some theories within quantum physics suggest that death may not be the finality it appears to be. Instead, it could be an illusion, a shift in consciousness rather than an end. The quantum multiverse, a different take on reality. Quantum mechanics challenges conventional views of reality, offering a perspective that calls into question the very nature of existence. One particularly compelling idea suggests that the universe is not a singular entity, but rather an infinite collection of parallel universes. According to this concept, every choice made leads to the formation of a different universe, where alternative outcomes unfold. This idea, rooted in quantum mechanics, proposes that consciousness is not bound to a single timeline or reality. If true, it means that when one version of a person ceases to exist in one universe, another version may persist elsewhere. Consciousness beyond the physical realm. Traditional views of consciousness tie it to the human brain, treating it as a byproduct of moral activity. However, emerging theories suggest that consciousness could be something far more profound, an intrinsic component of the universe itself. The concept of biocentrism, proposed by scientist Robert Lanza, argues that consciousness creates reality, not the other way around. If this is correct, then the idea of death as an absolute end becomes questionable. Consciousness, instead of being an ephemeral product of the brain, might be a fundamental force that continues beyond physical existence. Some physicists propose that consciousness is a form of energy that does not vanish when the body ceases to function. Instead, it may persist in another state or dimension, beyond human comprehension. This suggests that the mind is not solely confined to biological processes, but may be intertwined with the very structure of reality itself. If this is true, then death does not erase consciousness. It simply changes its form or location within the broader framework of the universe. Beyond death, beyond time, what if existence continues in dimensions yet to be understood? Image, Freepik. Perception shapes reality. A growing body of scientific thought suggests that reality itself is a construct of the mind. Our perceptions shape the world we experience, meaning that what we call reality is merely a subjective interpretation. Time and space, rather than being absolute, may exist only as tools the mind uses to organize information. If reality is indeed shaped by perception, then the finality of death might be another construct. Rather than an ending, death could be a transition into another form of existence, one that our current understanding has yet to grasp. The dissolution of the mind-body connection. From a quantum perspective, death may signify the loosening of the bond between consciousness and the body. Just as air exists without being tangible, consciousness could continue in a different state, no longer confined to physical limitations. More scientific research suggests that consciousness arises from the brain's complex networks of electrical and chemical signals. However, if consciousness exists independently of the brain, then death may be nothing more than a release from the physical vessel rather than an absolute cessation. This idea is reinforced by numerous accounts of near-death experiences, NDEs, where individuals report heightened awareness, out-of-body perceptions, and even encounters beyond the material world. These experiences suggest that consciousness may persist beyond bodily death, continuing in ways that defy conventional explanations. In this framework, the dissolution of the mind-body connection does not mark an end, but rather a transformation. Consciousness may shift into another plane, dimension, or a frequency that our current scientific tools are not yet capable of detecting. If this perspective holds true, then what is perceived as death is merely a transition into another state of being. Death is not the end but a transition, which if consciousness continues beyond the physical realm, shifting into a new dimension of reality. Image, Freepik. Practical applications of a quantum view on life. Adopting a quantum perspective on life and death can lead to profound changes in daily existence. Here are some insights that may help in embracing this idea. Live in the present. Since reality is shaped by consciousness, every moment carries significance. Fully experiencing the present fosters a deep appreciation of life. Let go of regret. The idea of infinite possibilities suggests that alternate versions of oneself are experiencing different choices. Dwelling on missed opportunities may not be necessary when considering this perspective. Embrace change. Just as quantum mechanics reveals the fluidity of reality, adapting to life's uncertainties becomes easier with an open mind. Foster meaningful connections. If consciousness is interconnected across time and space, then relationships hold even deeper significance. Cultivate a positive mindset. Thoughts and perceptions shape reality. Shifting to a more optimistic outlook can influence the experiences that unfold. A new perspective on existence. Quantum theories challenge traditional ideas of death, offering an alternative view in which existence is continuous and consciousness plays a fundamental role in shaping reality. If death is merely a transition, then life may be far more expansive than previously believed. Rather than viewing existence through the lens of linear time, this perspective suggests that past, present, and future may all be occurring simultaneously. The idea that time is an illusion means that consciousness does not follow a straightforward beginning or end, but instead shifts and evolves in ways beyond conventional understanding. This framework also implies that the universe is not a cold, indifferent mechanism, but a dynamic and interconnected web of experiences. Each individual plays a role in shaping their reality, and existence itself may be a form of exploration rather than a predetermined path. By embracing this expanded view of existence, fear of death may diminish, replaced by curiosity about what lies beyond. Instead of seeing life as a fleeting moment between birth and death, it can be understood as an ongoing journey, where consciousness continues to evolve and interact with different dimensions of reality. This perspective not only alters how death is viewed but also transforms how life is lived. With this understanding, existence takes on new meaning, and the infinite possibilities of consciousness become a source of inspiration rather than fear. Joseph Brown. Joseph Brown is a science writer with a passion for the peculiar and extraordinary. At freejupiter.com, he delves into the strange side of science and news, unearthing stories that ignite curiosity. Whether exploring cutting-edge discoveries or the odd quirks of our universe, Joseph brings a fresh perspective that makes even the most complex topics accessible and intriguing. Articles 233.